Om Shri Sai Ram. My name is Ramesh Malladi. I originally come from Chennai. I've been in US for the last almost 30 years right now. Swami has been a part and parcel of our life ever since I came into Swami's fold. I should rather say how when Swami actually got us into his fold. I vividly remember in 2 days before Shivratri in 1990, my brother asked me if he would like to go to Puttaparthi for Mahashivratri. Usually my nature is to ask a million questions about why we are going, what we are doing, what are we seeing there, what is happening. So I've never heard Swami or heard about Sathya Sai Baba prior to that. So I immediately said yes, and I was working at the time, and I said, okay, that evening, the following evening, we took the train from Chennai to go to Bangalore, and the next morning we reached Bangalore. From Bangalore we took the bus to go to Puttaparthi. That is the first time I'm hearing bhajans. And when we reached Puttaparthi, we tried to get accommodation, and it was Mahashivratri. What did we know? It was fully occupied, not even sheds available for us to go stay. So immediately they said Swami is coming for darshan. So we went there. And the place we later found out to be, we did not know what that place was. It's called Purnachandra Auditorium. And you know how both sides are occupied. We were at the last door, literally 1 foot in, sneaking with my head into it to look what is happening there. There was a program happening on the stage, and Swami had come to bless the yajna. And he is talking to people somewhere. I'm at least about 300 feet away, or more than that, whatever the length of the Purnachandra Auditorium is. I'm looking at it. I was just spellbound that I could actually see what his lip movements are. I can look at his eyelashes. I can see him so close up, as if I'm looking through a binocular, like he's like close up in front of me. I moved away, then I came back again to look, and again it's the same, clear, because others are all small and he was big. So I thought I had something wrong. I was feeling dizzy or something going on with me. Then I moved away, then I came back in. How am I able to see Swami that close up? And he's saying something to me, but I could not understand what he was saying. You know, his lip movements are happening, but I could not see what it was. So my brother and a few of his friends were with me. And I just left him, and Swami came out of that, and then he started walking outside. So I kept following him all the way up to the end of the aisle, and I missed my group completely. So I've known my brother is looking apparently. And the next thing I know is like about 45 minutes or an hour later, my brother is asking me, where did you go? Where did you miss us? You know, what happened to you? Where did you go? So I really did not know. But my feeling was that he just called me to go somewhere, and I walked with him. And it was with the group of people. I did not lose consciousness or anything, but it really made a extraordinary impact on me. And we bought the books and we started reading. We came home, did bhajans the following week at home, and lo and behold, everything slowly flowed, and the whole family came into Swami's fold. So that is the original beginning. But subsequently, what actually happened is what really made things much more different. Like anybody else, I was going through a lot of other difficulties and, you know, the trials and tribulations of life that we go through. At various points of life, I could feel his presence all the time within myself. And if I'm making a decision, I'm doing this. But I did not know that it was Swami at the time. I did not know. But I feel that is going on. I felt there was this ego that is kind of, I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm making this decision. Then when I listen to discourses and come back and says, okay, maybe this is what is Swami talking to me. Sometimes, no, maybe it's my mind telling me. So these kind of vagaries were going on. But recently, with how things have changed in my life in the last few years or so, 10 years, I would say 5 to 10 years, I can actually feel his presence almost at every instance of my life and every activity of my life and whatever I'm doing. And that really reinforced that. And that feeling of omnipresence within me has given me a lot of peace in life. And I'm really thankful for that event of how Swami called and made things flow. I haven't had any personal interviews with him, but I feel this is a little bit more than that. Maybe if I had a personal interview, it might have kind of clouded all this thought process, what is there in my mind. But this kind of a personal, internal relationship that I have with him as a friend and as my parent, now both my parents are deceased, as a parent, as my, everything, as a guide, I enjoy that in every moment of my life. My mom did not like me moving to US. So she kept telling me that I should turn around and come back to India. So this was her, lifelong, many times she'd say, when are you moving back? When are you moving back? I tried, but for some reason it did not happen. Our daughter was born here, and we tried doing it, that was not materializing. So finally, in 2009, my mom and dad came to visit for the first time to US to our house.
Before my mother-in-law and father-in-law, after so many years, they came to US in April 2009. Early in the morning, one day I got a dream that Swami was sitting, and there were so many older people. Everybody was asking questions, and I was just sitting in the on the floor, and my mother-in-law was sitting not very close to Swami, but a little bit on the side, and my husband was standing on next to me, but I was sitting. And Swami was all of a sudden turns to Ramesh, and he is saying that when will you come to India? You will come to India after your mother is gone. And that's all the sentence he was saying. And that place, and still I can remember the place and how Swami was sitting and everything. And the phone rang at 5:15, and I woke up. And when I woke up, I was telling my Ramesh that I got this dream. I don't know what Swami is trying to tell us, and I didn't feel good about it. For something Swami is trying to say, and I didn't understand what he is trying to tell me. And after my mother-in-law and father-in-law both came to US, and they were supposed to stay 6 months, but they went back within 4 months.
About a month and a half before our scheduled departure time. And she was saying, my friend was going to India, I want to go with him. Please prepone my ticket. My dad was getting a little upset about it, but she kept insisting. So finally, my friend was going, so we rebooked her tickets. She left on August 4th, 2009. She was very happy. On September 10th, she had some pain in the chest, and for which we were trying to do something, and September 11th, she passed away. Actually, September 12th, she passed away. All of a sudden, just like that, as she was trying to get her to the hospital, she was still walking around. Even the previous day, she cooked and she was all fine. But I said, okay, let's go get an X-ray. She's always scared. She never liked to go to the hospital. She has never been in a hospital in her life. So she went and put her foot in the car, one foot in the car, one foot down. My dad inside, my brother behind. I'm on the phone talking to her. My sister-in-law sitting in the front of the front car seat. She passed right away. Just that in an instant, she was gone.
And my mother-in-law passed away on September 12th. And we went and we were doing all the ceremonies and everything. And on the 11th day, there was a separate room which they were conducting the rituals. And I was there for almost the 10 days we were there. And I never saw that place. And then when I was waiting there when they were doing the rituals, and I could see that the same place I got in my dream like 6 months ago, same place where Swami was sitting and my mother-in-law was sitting next to him. So he already told us that she will be gone. But in my mind, I couldn't understand what Swami was trying to tell me.
Before this happened, I got an interview. I got a dream. My wife gets dream all the time. She always says she has seen this, she has seen that. I'm not the one who gets many dreams like that. So, I only believe in that. And so that happens. Maybe if the dream comes, it is usually pretty confusing or distorted or kind of broken up. So this about 1 week or 10 days before my mom passing, I had a dream and I suddenly woke up at 3 a.m. because I felt like I'm in Puttaparthi, I'm crying. At the veranda where there is 2 stairs, Swami is standing and he says, come, and I'm taking his Pada Namaskar in the dream. It's not a dream, I think it's definitely a vision because I can still vividly feel is touching his feet, this nice cold feet, soft feet. And then I'm crying and he stands me up, gives me a hug. He doesn't hug me, he puts his hand on my head, with both hands on my head. I could really feel that immense, comfort that he was doing. At that time, I thought it was to console me because I was the president of the Sathya Sai Center of Detroit Metro at the time. As and when my parents came in April of that 2009, there was a Parthi pilgrimage planned to go from the entire region. So I organized all the programs, but unfortunately, since my parents are here, I could not go with the group where they went and visited Swami. They had Pada Namaskar. They did all the groups and everything. That was really on my mind. I thought Swami is giving me that kind of a support for that. That was my thought when I told her, oh, maybe Swami is giving Pada Namaskar, which I missed during the Parthi pilgrimage trip that the Region 5 did to go. Which I did not know that Swami, my mother is going to pass. And this is what it is for. As a prelude 10 days before, he gives me this. So that was one part of the story. The second part is, when I'm in India, after my mother's final rites and everything, 13th day, my mom always did we always did Navratri Kolu and everything at home. And so that happened to be around Navratri time. So I didn't want to spend, my dad was feeling really depressed. So we said, okay, let's go to Parthi, spend some time there. So we were there. And my brother had to return. He had already taken a lot of time off from work and he wanted to return back to, Chennai so that he can go back to work. His time off is getting delayed. But I don't have time. Took time off and went to India. So I said, I'd rather stay with my dad and finish because I wanted to listen to Swami's Vijayadashmi discourse. But there was this situation going on the 8th day of Navratri. We are debating what should we do, this or that. We are debating. This is on the 9th, that is one day before Vijayadashmi. Swami comes and he's already coughing a lot and he says, Professor Venkatraman is asking him to speak and says, I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to do that. And then suddenly it is very hot and it's going to rain kind of a thing. And Swami finally agrees to speak. My father was telling me that, look, he's going to come and talk today. Even though it is not Vijayadashmi, usually Vijayadashmi is when he gives you the discourses, but he's not going to do that. He's going to come and do it the day before. And that actually he started talking. And if you go listen to that discourse, you'll probably realize that very beautifully. We were sitting there. It looked like he was directly talking to me to console me about my loss of my mother. It was amazing, I was getting all of it, but my father sitting right next to me did not get anything of that. He is, what Swami in his discourse talks about is that he starts narrating about his Pushpagiri festival going in his childhood days, where there's Ramesh and Suresh were helping them, even though he talks about that story. And after that, and he talks about his mother, and if you have a video, we can probably watch it. He is weeping. I mean, crying in the middle of the discourse. And everybody is looking at it. I said, why is Swami crying? And only I knew that it was something looking like, that he's mourning his mother's loss, that, he talks how his mother was loving and all those things. And then he continues his discourse, right? So I tried telling this to my dad. You see how he is talking, see how the discourse is so apt. My father said, no, he never said anything like that. He was sitting right next to me. Exactly 3.5, 4 months later, he gets the discourse on my dad, the Sanatana Saradi, and he reads it and he calls me back and says, look, what he has talked about. He said, we were there because it did not even connect to him until I clearly put the dates and the time for him, for him to understand that he was sitting there. He says, no, we were not there for the discourse. We were not even there. I said, no, Dad, this is what happened. This is what we did. I explained series of events, then he got it. So what I'm saying is that when he wants to give us some message, he will give us a message. It is, I think, it is our personal awareness which needs to open up. That's a great lesson that I had, was that, it's an awareness within us that needs to open up. He's always doing all the time. He never fails in doing his job. He always does it. But it is our ignorance or our illusion or maya, whatever we call, or the ego, or things that we think that we are doing all this. It's probably what. That was a huge a lesson in my life that I would never forget about. That was a very profound experience for me. It was more than an interview. We planned our daughter's wedding to happen in Chennai on June of 2020. You know what happened after that, right? So we went to India March 3rd to pay for the hall, to make all the arrangements and everything. 10th we got the announcement of COVID. And then by 18th, things were closing down. Everything was not happening. So we came back. And end of March, I was quarantining because I could not go to work. I'm sitting at home because I traveled and come back. And I was just asking her, do you think we should do the wedding on the same day of June 20? Instead of going to India, we can do it here, because traveling to India is going to be hard. And then she says, she had a dream that Swami told in her dream that, I'll take care of him. And she said, yes, but let's do it. I called, my daughter, my to-be son-in-law, and their parents, and everybody, my brother and her sister and other people. And they said, yeah, it's a good idea to do it. But at that time, we did not know how this COVID is going to go, because we thought it's going to fade away and things like that. And it was much before where the vaccination, all those things. So we did the wedding in our house. And it was purely Swami's grace is what happened in the wedding. Many, many people, close friends helped. To highlight a couple things, just on that day of when the Janvasam was happening, the Nichitatham was happening on June 10th, suddenly a heavy wind gust and rain dropped, took the power out. All our friends who were actually helping, there's one of the gentlemen was helping me, my friend's husband and friends, they were helping videotaping. I'm not videotaping, it's actually webcasting the whole wedding. That's how everybody could see all over In fact, all over the world, people saw the wedding at the time because it was a novelty at the time because nobody had weddings on webcast. So people were watching. So he had arranged and he brought backup batteries for all the cameras. He had 4 cameras set up in the house and he did. Only 20 people were at the wedding. All those people who came to help me at the wedding, there's only 20 people. They all live around 1.5 to 2 miles radius around my house. Everybody lost power. We did not even a wink. For the entire wedding, the power was through, the wedding went through beautifully. 1 week afterwards, we thought we will have a Zoom session, a virtual thing, to thank all the people who helped us so that, we can introduce others and do that. This, we were planned it for Friday or something like that. On Wednesday, 2 days before, this is my friend, she gets a dream that Swami went in her dream and told her that, he's very happy that her husband helped Malladi's daughter's wedding. I'm very happy. He went and thanked them for the wedding, what he did. It was like mind-blowing. She calls right on Thursday morning and says, I got a dream saying that Swami came in my dream and thanking for what he did, her husband did for this work. I said, even before we could do, this is a clear evidence that he's always taking care of things to happen how it needs to go. So all these events put together really kind of keeps running in my mind. I keep dwelling on it periodically to strengthen my inner strength so that I'm be aware about his presence, that his guidance is there all the time. That's usually what keeps me going under all circumstances, be it small or big. And the second component to that is accepting whatever happens is for the good. She's our only daughter. We wanted to do the wedding in a grand manner in India, or when all the family and when all the people could come. But even though that did not happen, but we were able to do all the rituals. We did that. There was a change. And accepting that is what is the lesson that I got. I said, if things don't go your way, accept it. Go with the flow, because his guidance is there and feel his presence. So this kind of incidents in life, and if we kind of think through that, really helps in reinforcing that thought that he's there with us at all times.